So I really looked at her, her labs and her circumstance, and I'm like, her diabetes is uncontrolled, like very high blood sugars. She really needs our help.
What do you want to do after high school? This question stresses out every single teenager because the truth is, we can't make up our minds about what we're going to eat for breakfast, let alone a whole career.
But with applications around the corner, we need to do something about it. Join us every Thursday at 1, where we interview professionals in a variety of careers, so that one day we can answer this stressful question with confidence in our choices and ourselves. This is Career Hunt.
Do you love food, science, and helping others? Then it's time you consider becoming a dietitian. Dietitians empower their patients, clients, and communities to embrace food, understand it, and enjoy it. Simplify the science of nutrition to provide advice to patients, businesses, media, and the government. You can find dietitians in a variety of settings. They can be in hospitals planning meals for patients, in nursing homes overseeing menus and optimizing health, and in businesses working with food manufacturers to improve nutritional value. Dietitians plan, research, educate, and counsel because they understand the power food has on physical and mental health. The average salary for this job is $60,000 to $80,000 a year. To become a dietitian, you need a specific degree in human nutrition and dietetics that is approved by your local dietitians board. And after that, you'll complete training, which typically takes a year. And from there, you will write the Canadian Dietitian Registration Exam to become a registered dietitian. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's hear it from our guest today, Alia, who will tell us what it's really like to be a dietitian in Canada.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Alia Al-Kubbi. I'm a registered dietitian and a certified diabetes educator from the London community. I've been living in London for the last 12 years, alhamdulillah, and I've been blessed to be also educated at the University of Western Ontario, and I recently graduated with my master's as well in diabetes.
So why did you choose to become a dietitian?
I've always been interested in healthy eating and helping people, so I found that was a great mix. So subhanAllah, that was something that I always was interested in. I actually have two older cousins that were my role models. So they are both registered dietitians. So they also kind of got me into the field.
What was university like content heavy?
So I actually went at my first year, I was actually at Western. I was just like doing general science, and then I switched over to nutrition second year. So it was a bit hectic too, because within the nutrition field, you still have to take biology, chemistry, organic chemistry, biochemistry, show up for your labs, so you have to be strong in the sciences for sure. It's not just, nutrition, you have to kind of know all that science background for sure. So university, I would say, was, it wasn't too stressful, but it was, hectic. You have to study and make sure you're on top of everything. And then within the nutrition field, like you're also kind of striving and working towards getting an internship. So you have to make sure you volunteer with dietitians, you're getting good grades, you have extracurricular, you're working. So it's not just school. So it's well-rounded for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So what is the nature of your job? Like, how does a day in your job look like?
That's a good question. I actually never knew until I actually started to work. So within being a dietitian, there's many different fields. So you could be, a dietitian with peds in the hospital. You can work at a health center. You can work in long-term care. So there's many different roles. For me, I worked in long-term care with seniors, so that was one aspect of it. You could also do food service at the hospital. And then I was also in health centers, where I was also a certified diabetes educator. So I specialized in diabetes, and that was a huge passion that I got. And then that drove me, alhamdulillah, to get my master's in diabetes. So day-to-day a job right now, actually, I've also moved to a new job. I'm at St. Joseph's Healthcare London, and I'm in the cardiac rehab site. So I'm doing more cardiac health. So I help people manage their diet in terms of protecting their hearts. And I also I also do diabetes. So when you're in the diabetes field, it's actually really interesting because you can then specialize in diabetes, and you can get like medical directives. You can help people adjust their insulin. You do medication recommendations, but typically as a dietitian, we really focus on their diet, managing their diet, their exercise. And I think a huge role is helping people build habits and
Yeah.
sustain those habits, right? So we want those healthy habits, we want those healthy exercise habits and that consistency. And that's kind of that accountability. So you're kind of like a coach. You're there to support them for sure. And of course, I'm sure you know now with even with Corona, there's a lot, it's huge on weight loss. So everyone calls you to help you help them with the weight loss for sure.
How have your studies impacted the way you see food and your outlook on health?
So I think, when you learn subhanAllah about something and how it affects your body, then, you're obviously going to stay away from it. I'll give you an example of, for example, like cream. Like I used to put cream in my coffee. And then when I studied about cream is high fat. It's not good for your arteries. I actually can't drink cream anymore. So I use milk in my coffee. So again, I just think the more you learn about something and if it's beneficial or harmful, then you stay away from it.
This job is for someone who wants to be wealthy.
Yes.
Someone who wants to be a leader.
Yes, you can actually progress. We actually at the hospital, one of our main coordinators is a dietitian.
Someone who wants to have a generous amount of free time.
I would say yes and no. So it's like a 9 to 5 job. So it's pretty busy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Someone who wants to work with others.
100%. So I work with a team of 15 people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I work with cardiologists, nurse practitioner, rehab trainers, kinesiologists, nurses. So we all work in a team. So yeah, for sure. We all work together and we all help each other. So it's awesome.
Okay. Someone who wants to have a stable income.
Yes, alhamdulillah.
Okay. Someone who wants to be creative.
100% for sure. Yeah. So within my job, we do a lot of education sessions as well. So exactly kind of now with COVID, we're even doing it over like Zoom or WebEx. And so we teach people, right? We teach them. So you can be very creative when you're teaching people. And then we do cooking classes. So you can be very creative when you're doing cooking classes.
Oh, you do cooking classes.
Yeah, like of course we teach people how to cook healthier, how to eat healthier, how to balance their plates. We also create like patient handouts. So you can create, say someone's cholesterol is high and you want to teach them how to reduce their cholesterol. You then can create a handout and you can be very creative.
Okay, nice. Someone who wants to travel, like part of the job.
So it depends. So for example, a couple of my jobs, I was actually out of the community. So I would have to travel outside. And we used to go to different clinics. So if you like to drive and you like the commute, that can help, but not travel like different
outside.
Yeah, no, it's very just in London for now.
Okay. Someone who wants to get a job easily with their degree.
I would say it's a bit tough. Yeah. You cut like especially the first couple years, and I mean I'm sure everybody in a profession would say this. You really have to make sure you have good networks. You may have to move from London to find a job. I had to commute like for 5 years, an hour every day.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think it's a little tough with that, but yeah, I mean you try your best.
Someone who wants to start a family early.
Yeah, you could.
Someone who wants to make a difference in the world.
100%. I see the difference with my patients all the time. And that's why I truly enjoy the job, helping people reduce their cholesterol, lowering the risk of, having another heart attack, helping people manage their diabetes, lowering their blood sugars, losing some weight, exercising, taking care of their bodies and eating healthier.
Does good food lead to better mental health? If so, what foods do you recommend people to eat more often?
For sure, 100%. So you want to make sure that you're eating a balanced diet that's balanced, of course, with your fruits and your vegetables, lower fat. We want to pick the healthier fats for sure. And, you know, when you eat healthy and you take care of your body, then you're going to feel better about yourself. So 100%, we really have to make sure, especially during these times as well, to really make sure that we're nourishing our bodies. Our body is an amana that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us, so we have to make sure we nourish it the right way.
If you were to go back, would you change careers?
No, alhamdulillah, I think it's exactly where I want to be. I really truly enjoy helping people, and I really truly enjoy teaching. So this is, I feel like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put me in the right place, alhamdulillah.
And what advice do you have for someone considering dietitian?
Advice I would give is make sure you try to shadow someone that's working in the dietitian position. So don't just go into it right away. Make sure you shadow someone. If you ever need to shadow someone, feel free to give me a shout, you know, on Instagram or Facebook, or if you can find me. And I would really encourage you to start like volunteering early in from like first year. So it's really big that you have to, when you're trying to get into internship, they look at your resume and want to see if you have any experience. So with the dietitian field, there's 4 areas. So it's really important for you to have experience either working or volunteering in the 4 areas. So clinical, community, research, and food service. So start as soon as you can, like in the summertime, having, you know, a prof where you volunteer with them, doing food service at long-term care or the hospital, volunteering with a dietitian in a community health center. That's what they really want to see on your resume.
Okay. Do you have a story that affected you?
Like we had a patient, she was on insulin, she had diabetes. She couldn't come to see us because she worked 9 to 5. And we also work 9 to 5. So by 5 we're gone, right? So I really looked at her, you know, her labs and her circumstance, and I'm like, her diabetes is uncontrolled, like very high blood sugars. She really needs our help. So I decided to say, okay, you know, why don't I flex my time? Why don't I work 10 to 6 instead of 9 to 5 and actually help this patient for 1 hour? And I called the patient, I convinced her to come, and she started to come to the clinic that I worked at. And we were able to change her medications, adjust her insulin, teach her how to eat healthy, teach her how to balance her meals, how to exercise, teach her how to adjust her insulin. And then her diabetes was well controlled within 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was a success story for sure.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And comment down below if you think this job is a good fit for you.
And if it's not, comment down below which one you'd like us to do next time.
See you next time.
Bye!